Hello and welcome back to the Scale Modelling Cafe. My name is Jamie and welcome to this week's update. Busy week at work this week, so not a great deal of modelling that has happened. So we're in the process of moving airfields, so I was on the shift that I had to do 4 days in a row, 12-hour days, lots of flying, going to and from the old place, and then the other shift were flying at the new place, and then they ferried the aeroplanes up on Thursday. So what's that? Yesterday. So it's all go, but I have done a little bit of modelling, and I'll show you that in a second. One thing I did manage to get to was a little impromptu private air show for some VIPs by the Red Arrows, who are on their Middle East tour, and the Green Falcons, which is Saudi's equivalent. And it was really good. It was only those two teams were doing their display, and it was great. Managed to blag a way in because I know a couple of the guys on the Reds. I know Muskie Red 10, I know Tom, the leader, and two of the new pilots for next year that are on the tour just shadowing at the moment, Piggy and Papa Wilkes. So it was great to see those guys, including one of their safety guys, Coops, who was my stage commander at Linton. He's now a full-time reservist. So it was fantastic to catch up with all those guys and to see the sort of display. And there wasn't really much of a crowd, to be honest, perhaps 150 people maximum, something like that. And they got lots of local school kids in and everything. It was fantastic. So that's what I was doing yesterday. So not a great deal of modelling. But on the channel, last Sunday was part 4 of the Lightning, the much anticipated Lightning. Now there's been a bit of a faff with YouTube. God, when is there not a faff with YouTube? Because I accidentally put it up a couple of months ago and then had to pull it. And then I rescheduled it. The system, the algorithms, think that it has been up for months and hasn't had many views at all. So it's not really had the visibility, which is an absolute nightmare, really, frankly. But anyway, I'll put a link at the end. So if you haven't seen it, go do have a look, because it's got the first use of the new Ammo A-stand range of metallic paints, which are essentially Alclad with a few little tweaks here and there. So go see that, and then next week will be the final part, weathering that natural metal and bringing everything together. So go check that out. I was trying to get a review of the A-stand paints done this week, but it was just so busy, I just haven't had time. So apologies for that. I'll try and get it done next week. We're up at the new place Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So I'll have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off, which is amazing. So I'll try and get it, that up, and I'll try and splice in some of the Lightning video and the Hyate video as well, if I can. So look out for that coming up sometime next week. Right, the project. The wings on the Colt are finished, and here they are. I'm really pleased with how these have turned out, actually, and I'm loving the weathering on them. It's going to fit really nicely when I get round to doing the fuselage, which is just over there. I'll show you that in a moment. I did say last week that I was going to do something special for this wing, and here it is. I'll whack a picture up here so you can have a closer look. So I've done a triple E row tie, so a nod to the Middle East. And yeah, I just kind of felt that this post-apocalyptic thing, North Africa, deserty type arrangement would be quite cool. So what I've done is, obviously I've done the weathered metal that you saw last week. I've done the weathered aluminium for the top of the fuel tanks and dirtied all that up. And the sign was thanks to friend of the channel Nige, who's done the masks for me. So he did those, and it was painted white Then I put the male masks on. Then it was painted green, and then it's had sponge chipping and oils to weather it down to get that real rusty look. I think what I'm going to do is go back in. It has got the little rivets on, but I might go in with the MDC punch and do some more sort of bigger rivets, if you like. And then on the other wing, which is vanilla, I suppose, I've painted, again, masks from Nige, the skull and crossbones. They've come out really, really well. And then what I've done is, I've done that on the other side, but the patch is covering up that marking. So these are like the sky pirates, if you like. I'm chuffed to bits how those skulls have come out. So thank you very much, Nige. They really look the part. That's brilliant. So that's the wings. I've done... almost finished the rudder, that's here. So I've done it mainly in the, it's not rusty metal, it's the red primer, which the mainly the fuselage is going to be in. But I wanted to inject a bit of colour. Therefore, I've done weathered steel, yellow and black stripes, as if it's some kind of construction, don't enter here type sign. And I've done it slightly mismatched, just to show that they're two separate panels, and I've done a bit of sponge chipping on there. That still needs filter and oils on it, so that's going to be the next job, is to finish off the rudder. And then the fuselage itself, the wings are done, they're all masked up apart from the skull and crossbones underneath, and I've just started on the fuselage. So the shark's mouth under here, that's been done and that's been painted. I forgot to ask Nige to do me some eyes for the shark's mouth, so I've just done those myself. Just punched a painted white, punched a circle, locked the top off, stuck that on. Then it's got like the eyebrow, I sprayed black, then put the eyebrow just from a bit of tape, like a tapered long thin triangle, and then the whole thing's had a coat of aluminium from the A-stand range. What I'll do is, once I've finished the sort of base coat, if you like, for the eyes, I'll take off the white mask, so the sort of semicircle bit, and then I'll punch a smaller circle for the pupil, and I'll do that, and I might just add a tiny dot of white. Cat's having an absolute epic out there. Not my cat, they're always fighting. We've got feral cats here. The housewives adopt them. They find stray cats and adopt them, and they're just feral and they fight all the time. They're a nightmare. So apologies if you can hear a load of cat blah going on outside. Right, where was I? Yes, so it's had an undercoat of aluminium. Next up will be hairspray, then the primer, the red primer. That'll all get chipped and that'll all get sealed. Then I'll do the nose. I still haven't decided what I'm going to do on that yet. I've got an idea in mind. And there's a few panels on here that I want to pick out in the rusty steel. So some of the mountings for the, oh, for goodness sake, some of the mountings for the waist guns, the aircon unit, and around the windows, which what I'm going to do is I've got some mesh that'll be soaked in some photoactive burnishing fluid, and then I'll just slide it in. I've actually made a kind of window frame thing, if you like, so the mesh will slide in behind to hold it in place. And then it'll be just a question of bringing it all together, because all the dangly bits are done pretty much. There's a few bits and pieces to do on here, and like a load of holes here for the grab handles so they can climb up on the roof. I'm going to try and do a satellite dish for the TV, which is dismantled when they go flying because too much drag, and various other little bits and pieces. Hopefully that won't take too longer. So that's the state of the current project, and I'm absolutely loving it. What I'd really like to do is take a week off and smash it through and get it finished, but alas, one has to pay the brand new mortgage because we moved house last week. Right, so that's the current project. On with the news then, and Airfix invited a whole group of YouTube model content creators, which I believe is the correct vernacular, down to the factory that are moulding the 1/24 scale Spitfire. They did a bit of a presentation, and then they had a factory tour. And I've seen one or two, and they're really, really interesting. There's, if you just sort of, I was going to say Google, but in YouTube, put in the search Airfix 1/24 Spitfire factory tour or something like that, you'll see them. There's quite a few on there. So pick your favourite one and watch those. It's actually really interesting, especially when the guy physically, I guess he's the manager or the owner of the factory, and he actually leans in, pulls out one of the sprues, snaps bits off, and explains the whole process. It's really, really interesting. So go and seek those out. Highly recommended. Right, some of the modeling news then. Some very exciting stuff this week. In sort of reverse order for me, in 1/32 scale, there's a new American company are going to do an F4B Phantom. I'm hoping that's going to be amazing. They've only released a few sort of test shots of some of the detail sprues, but it looks really quite nice so far. It's so new, they haven't even come up with a name for the company yet. So that looks really intriguing, because I think, you know, the Revell one is very old, and it's Revell, and the Tamiya one is really quite nice, although I've never built it. But again, that's getting really rather long in the tooth. So a new tool, 1/32 scale Phantom, is very welcome. Why do they always start with the B? Bit bizarre. It always seems to be the B. But there we go. No idea of pricings, times, whatever. But if there's test shots already from some of the bits, then hopefully we'll see that sometime next year. That's really cool. A company called HS Models, who I've never heard of. This just really caught my eye. It's a 1/144 scale, I know, MH60, which normally wouldn't float my boat at all. But just check out these CAD renderings. If the actual kit is half as good as this, it's going to be utterly amazing. There's a load of photo etch that's going to go with it as well, but it just looks absolutely brilliant there. And I'm really, really tempted to get one of those. So I'm going to keep an eye out, and I'll try and get one, because I'm really never a fan of 144 at all, but just the detail on that just looks amazing. And I think a smaller scale, highly detailed model is much more impressive than a much bigger, highly detailed model, personally. That's just me. And the last one is the most exciting for me, and that is Meng, hot on the heels of their 48 scale F4G Phantom, have announced an E. Now, it was obvious it was going to come at some stage, but I didn't expect to see CAD renderings right now. I'm not even sure that the G is out. If it is, it's literally just hit the shelves. So I can imagine this isn't going to be that far behind. Who knows exactly when, but I'm definitely going to get one of those. And I've got a picture of one of the F4s in the first tranche of the, I think it was called Peace Icarus, that went to Greece. And it's in the old hill scheme of the greys before they all got repainted. Some of them got repainted in the dark blue and aluminium underneath. And then obviously the later sort of ghost camouflage. But I've got this picture of this early one, and it's absolutely minging right up my boulevard. I'm definitely going to do that. 100%. Definitely. Now, I've got the Airfix. I've got the Hasegawa one in the stash as well, which makes me think, what on earth am I going to do with that now? I have to build it because friend of the channel, Mike Reeves, he of Face Hanger Resin, very, very kindly sent it to me. Yeah, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. I kind of owe it to Mike to build that, and you know, the Airfix, I keep saying Airfix. The Airfix are not bringing out a 1/48 scale F4 as far as I'm aware. It's not a Freudian slip. I'm not giving anything away. Yeah, so I'm really not sure what to do with that. I really owe it to Mike, like I say, to build that, and I definitely will one day, but who knows what kind of format that will take or when it'll ever get done. I'm definitely going to do the A7 that he sent me though, the Hasegawa one, and I'm going to do that as Greek as well in the Southeast Asia camouflage because they got absolutely minging. Definitely going to do that. Right, there we are. That's pretty much it. Go and check out the part 4 of the lightning video. Sorry, my mind went completely blank then. Go check out part 4 of the lightning video right now. Link at the end. Go and check out the final part of that, part 5, which is the weathering and bringing everything together on Sunday. And Sunday week, so Sunday after next, it's going to be part 1 of the An-2 Colt, the intro. Once I think I might have to film that again, but we'll see. And I'll try and edit that when I'm down at Al Majma, the new place. Right, that's it. I'm in danger of starting to waffle even more now, so I'll go put the green book down. And all I'll say is, yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Cheers, bye-bye.